America, so it's not exactly morning, and I'm not exactly in my room. I am currently sitting in a bathroom. So I maybe forgot to make the video this morning, and now Jessica's like busy Skyping her boyfriend, so I'm like trying to give her privacy, but of course in this school there is nowhere to go and like film a video and awkwardly sit there talking to a video camera as everyone passes by, because you can't exactly like do that in the library because you're supposed to be quiet, and then I don't really want to do it like down in the common area just because I feel like people are like super judgmental down there. So I'm in the bathroom. Shower curtain, pretty pretty flowers. If you listen quietly, you can hear our next door neighbors. They're in the shower. Fun fact, I bought that shower curtain. Alright, so a couple weeks ago, Jessica and I went and we saw this presentation slash talk, I guess you'd call it a talk, by Harlan Cohen. He has written books like The Naked Roommate, For Parents Only, Getting Naked, The Naked Roommate's First Year Survival Workbook, Dad's Pregnant Too. This is probably like one of my favorite pictures on like the back of one of these handouts, just because it says, Getting Naked, 5 Steps to Finding the Love of Your Life While Fully Clothed and Totally Sober. I think it's a brilliant book idea, and he was really funny. His point was telling us how to deal with the uncomfortable questions. One of his main points is that in order to deal with the uncomfortable, you have to become uncomfortable. You have to just embrace the uncomfortable and run with it. And one of his main points why you need to do this is because he told us this story about this girl who went to college. It was like a private Catholic college, and she had a roommate, and the roommate decided to bring a boy into the room. They had bunk beds, so the girl was on the bottom bunk bed and the roommate was on the top bunk bed. The roommate and her boy decided to become really comfortable, and out of nowhere they just started doing it. And the roommate on the bottom was really uncomfortable, called her mom. Her mom drove 3 hours to go to the girl's school and rescue the girl from the room. Harlan Cohen, his joke was, how could they possibly be doing it for that long? The girl ended up being isolated, which really isn't a good thing. But the main point was that you need to answer these questions and you need to deal with this within like the first like 3 weeks or like even month of college, because it's going to make everything so much better. Personally, I would not be happy if Jessica brought in her boyfriend and then they started like making out right in front of me. I would be really uncomfortable and I would leave. Harlan Cohen said that if you have a problem with your roommate, you need to address it within 24 hours or drop it. Because if you address it like 72 hours later, the roommate's gonna get all offended and be like, why didn't you tell me this sooner? Or probably not even remember it, be like, oh yeah, I didn't do that, and then the other person's gonna be like, yeah, you did, and the roommate's gonna be like, no, and that's just really bad and uncomfortable. So if you do have an issue, like playing music loudly at like 6 a.m. while the other person's trying to sleep, that is an issue. Address it as soon as possible. Do not wait to address that, because you will be living miserable, and then come 2 months later when you try to address it, the roommate's gonna be like, well, you put up with it all this time, and you're gonna be like, yeah, miserably, but I did. And then you're probably gonna end up having to put up with it for the rest of the year. And that is no fun. Now, getting around to these questions can be really awkward, because of course this is someone that you just moved in with, but it's just something that you're gonna need to do, and that's why Harlan Cohen said you need to embrace the uncomfortable, because he said that when it came to college, his first month in college, he ended up transferring, actually, after a month or two, because he was just unhappy and in a really uncomfortable position, because his roommate, whom he thought was going to end up being like his best friend, turned out to be like some pothead, and they just did not get along at all. And Cohen had this girlfriend that he was like obsessed with back home, and he just was not living the college life, and he was being uncomfortable, and he was hiding in his dorm, and he wasn't facing the uncomfortable, and he wasn't embracing it. And anyways, he ended up transferring, broke up with a girlfriend, and of course got a new roommate. I think his new roommate and him became friends, but you don't have to become friends with your roommate. That was another thing he addressed. Your roommate can just be your roommate. You guys don't have to, like, suddenly become best friends and then, like, end up stabbing each other in the back, like, 2 years later or something. But anyways, at this new school, he became comfortable with the uncomfortable, and he forced himself to join activities and stuff, and he forced himself to tell his roommate when he wasn't happy with something, and he ended up having a much better college experience. So that's my long spiel for tonight. Sorry it's so late. Kind of maybe forgot it was Tuesday, but hey, it's Tuesday! I hope by the time this video gets out, I hope it's Tuesday. It may be like early Wednesday, but we'll see. Oh, I joined country line dancing. That's really fun. I was there tonight. Yeah, getting into that country vibe. It's really funny too, because like you're in Oklahoma, and I don't think you're doing country line dancing, and yet here I am at like Monterey Bay, doing the country line dancing. Okay, I'm gonna go now. Bye. We're camera angle.